For someone who likes to do interviews, the president sure has a low opinion of the media.
I think that, frankly, the media encourages some of the outliers in behavior because, let's face it, the easiest way to get on television right now is to be really rude. If you're just being sensible and giving people the benefit of the doubt and you're making your arguments, you don't get time on the nightly news.
Is that true? Join us live is Fox News contributor Tucker Carlson. Tucker, it's all your fault.
It's pretty over the top if you think about it. Any politician lecturing the press for all our many, many shortcomings, and I've been in it my whole life and I know them well, we at least try to tell the truth most of the time. And politicians, I don't care who they are, on both sides, that's not the highest goal. So whenever we are lectured by elected officials, it's a little stout. And for Barack Obama to say that the media is taking the low road when many of his allies have accused his opponents of racism, and where was he when they did? When Clyburn of South Carolina accused the opponents of racism, when Charlie Rangel did the same, when Governor Patterson of New York. You heard not a word from Barack Obama. So, it's a little much for him to claim that the media is stoking this race talk. It's his own allies who are stoking it.
Well, one of the things, I get a lot of emails from viewers who are complaining about the fact that he went around, did every news organization over the weekend, wouldn't do Fox News. And, of course, the suspicion is either, A, he's mad because Fox broadcast didn't air his last primetime speech to a press conference, or B, that he doesn't like Fox News Channel because we have challenged him and been, not quite as, we've been harsher on him than the other networks.
Right.
But either way, it looks petty.
It looks small. And it's also self-defeating in the end. This is the president of all of America by his own description, and he should speak to all of America. This channel gets 2, sometimes literally 3 times the ratings of CNN and MSNBC combined. So, it's sort of a big audience you're leaving out when you neglect to appear on the channel. And to snub Chris Wallace, who is hardly any kind of ideologue, who's one of the fairest people on television, it's ludicrous, and I think it makes them look stupid.
All right, the truth. Did you know who Joe Wilson was before he yelled out that comment?
No, but it was funny. I was actually...
So there's a little bit of truth that he says the way to get on TV.
Well,
Joe,
sure.
Joe Wilson's made a lot of news shows.
It was funny. I was sitting next to someone who knows Joe Wilson very well when that happened, who said, I've known him for years. He's the meekest, sweetest person I've ever met. I can't believe he's doing this.
But he did get on a lot of news shows. Being rude, it does. There's a little truth to that.
When the plane lands safely, we don't cover it. News is something that's out of the ordinary. It doesn't happen every day. And yelling at the president in the middle of a joint session of Congress is not something that happens every day, but it doesn't mean that we are lionizing Joe Wilson, approving of it. It's our job to tell you what happens, and that's something that happened. But let me just say very clearly, it was the Obama campaign that first brought up the race question. It was the Obama people who smeared the Clintons as racists. Bill and Hillary Clinton, they made the case to reporters off the record, including me, that the Clintons were racist. They started this. So for him to get up with a straight face and say, the media is bringing this race issue up, no, it was your campaign.
How did they bring it up?
By this whisper campaign that Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton were somehow opposing Barack Obama because they didn't like the fact he was black, and that various statements they made. Hillary Clinton, remember, famously said that, of course, it was Lyndon Johnson who signed the Civil Rights Act. Martin Luther King might have advocated for it, but it was the president who signed it. Somehow that became a racist statement, according to allies of Barack Obama. He didn't tell them to be quiet then. He allowed that to happen. Allowed, I think, the slur against the Clintons to fester, that they were somehow animated by bigotry. It was outrageous. And he did nothing to clear the air. So, I don't know. I don't want to be lectured by him at this stage as a member of the media in a sanctimonious way that somehow we're perpetuating unhealthy race talk. It's nonsense.
Well, it's just sort of interesting how, in some sort of sick and twisted fashion, is that we've gotten more viewers by his attacking Fox News. Maybe for whatever reason.
I've been in TV most of my adult life, and I don't pretend to understand what gets viewers. But I will say, I am proud to be, and I'm not sucking up. I don't have to suck up. I'm proud to be affiliated with a network that's not afraid to say what it thinks and to describe things as it finds them.
And I love to be back working with you, Tucker, as you know.
Thanks, Greta.
Never dull. Thank you, Tucker.